welcome to the news update on AFRICUNIA television, reaching you from our studio in the nation's commercial capital, Lagos, Nigeria. I am Deborah Ezeh. Many thanks for joining me. We'll begin with updates from our sister company, the AFRICUNIA Bank. AFRICUNIA Bank, world-class fintech giant and blockchain technology-powered digital bank, announced yesterday an extension of the initial exchange offering IEO of its digital token, AFCASH. In a press release, the bank stated its explicitly that the IEO would end on September 2022 as against July 31st, 2022, adding that the extension became necessary in order to accommodate many investors across the globe who made the passionate appeal for it. In a press release titled IEO Extension, the bank stated, and I quote, "Dear Africunians, we are happy to announce to you that we are extending our IEO and will now end on the 30th of September 2022 as against 31st of July 2022. This decision was taken due to many appeals we have been getting from all over the world to extend our IEO to enable them buy at a discounted price. As the Bank of the People, we had no other choice but to listen to the people. We therefore encourage everyone to make use of this golden opportunity to buy as many AFCASH as possible and become a shareholder of the bank." End of quote. Now, it can be recalled that the AFCASH IEO commenced on July 1st, 2022 and has recorded a massive compliance and patronage from crypto investors globally. And now moving on, Nigerians who could not register in the continuous voter registration, which ended on Sunday, have expressed frustration over the refusal of the Independent National Electoral Commission to extend the exercise. The stranded applicants stamped down the decision of the Commission to stop the CVR, describing it as a way to disenfranchise themselves. In preparation for the 2023 general election, INEC began the nationwide registration in June 2021 to enable Nigerians who had just attained the voting age and others to register. The electoral body planned to terminate the CVR on June 30th, 2022, but a civil society group, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, on June 5th filed a suit at the Federal High Court seeking an extension of the exercise beyond the date. And now the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has said the permanent voters card, that is PVC, for persons captured in the ongoing continuous voters registration will be ready between October and November. The Commission has however urged Nigerians that their PVCs remained their actual meal tickets and should be handled with care. INEC National Commissioner, Information and Publicity, Festus Okoye, disclosed this while monitoring the concluding segment of the ongoing CVR in Awka, Anambra State yesterday. And now moving on, amid terror scare across the country, the police command in Lagos State has placed its operative on red alert over intercepted plans by gunmen to attack the commercial capital of the country. This was contained in a statement issued yesterday by the command spokesman, SP Benjamin Ayodin. According to him, the command is not unmindful of the intelligence reports suggesting that Lagos could be on radar of some persons planning an attack across the country. Ayodin added that in all the border towns, persons coming in and going out were under serious surveillance to ensure that there was absolutely no breach of peace in the state. He therefore enjoined residents not to fear, assuring them that all human, material and operational resources had been fully and optimally deployed across the length and breadth of the state. And now still in Nigeria, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, yesterday confirmed 15 new positive cases of monkeypox in API week 29 and from 10 states. Ondo 3, Taraba 2, Lagos 2, Bayelsa 2 persons, River 1, Kogi 1, Imo 1, Delta 1, Anambra 1, and Abia State 1. It noted from January 1st to July 24th, 2022, there have been 89 males and 44 females from 26 states, namely Lagos 17, Adamawa 11, Delta 11, Rivers 10, Bayelsa 10, Odo 9, and Edo 8 persons. And now more updates from the African scene. Demonstrators gathered outside former President Thomas Sankara's memorial on Saturday, July 30th, to reject the presence of the French military in the country. The figure of the Burkina Revolution was assassinated during a coup led by Blaise Compaoré, who was close to France until his fall in 2014. a newly formed coalition M13 number WOBGO called on the termination of cooperation agreements with France. The movement announced a rally on 12th of August to demand an end to French politics in all its forms and the departure of the French ambassador. These actions are taking place only days after Emmanuel Macron ended his three-nation tour in Cameroon, Benin, and Guinea-Bissau, a bid to renew relationships with countries in the region. And now still on the African scene, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has highlighted the fight against the corruption and the country's struggling economy. Speaking during the closing day of the ruling African National Congress Party conference, he said, and I quote, "All the measures proposed to grow and transform the economy rely on the fiscal policy that ensures that our national debt is contained within sustainable limits and that spending is reprioritized away from consumption towards investment." The conference also discussed policies needed to address the country's challenges, including the high level of poverty, 35% unemployment rate, and rising cost of living. According to Ramaphosa, the delegates also expressed concern about the country's electricity crisis, which has resulted in rolling power blackouts, which have affected businesses and households as the power utility ESCOM struggles to keep the lights on. However, the delegates expressed support for the steps the government was taking to address the issue. We now go on a short break, and when we come back, it's updates making the rounds on the foreign scene. Stay with me.
Do you have a clue? Best bank for me and you, where the interest is nice and cool. AFRICUNIA day for you. Trust is our virtue, cause we make it all about you. Our great plans are open to you. All you need is to make a move. Ooh, AFRICUNIA bank will give you more. You know the interest in your fixed deposits, it's more. Oh, AFRICUNIA bank will give you more. And you never go like us, we always giving more.
And now welcome back. On the foreign scene today, the first ship to sail or set sail from Ukraine with grain exports since the beginning of the Russian invasion left Monday under a guaranteed safe passage agreement, Turkey's defense ministry said, adding that more will still follow. The Sierra Leone flagship Rezoni was set off from Odessa port for Lebanon with its cargo of corn, the ministry said. Ukrainian forces have said there were 17 ships docked in Ukraine's Black Sea ports with almost 600,000 tons of cargo. Of them, 16 held Ukraine's grain with a total volume of about 580,000 tons. Russia's denied responsibility for the food crisis, blaming Western sanctions for slowing exports and Ukraine for mining the approach to its ports. And now moving on, the head of Myanmar's junta on Monday blamed instability for stalling efforts to implement a peace plan agreed with other Southeast Asian countries as he extended emergency rule for another 6 months. The junta first declared a state of emergency after seizing power from the elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi in a coup in February last year. Myanmar has been in chaos since then, with conflict spreading after the army crushed mostly peaceful protests in towns and cities. The World Bank also projects Myanmar economy will grow 3% this fiscal year, following an 18% contraction last year, and warned that a return to pre-pandemic levels was unlikely in the next year. And now still on the foreign scene, New Zealand's border fully reopened to visitors from around the world on Monday, for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic closed them in March 2020. The process of reopening the borders ended last night with visitors who needed visas and those on student visas now also allowed to return to New Zealand. New Zealand is now also letting cruise ships and foreign recreational yachts docks at its ports. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said on Monday during a speech at the China Business Summit in Auckland that the final stage opening of the borders had been an enormous moment. New Zealand Tourism Minister Stuart Nash said the return of cruise ships will also be a boost for local industries. And now up next is updates from the sports scene. Stay with me. That's a wrap on news updates on AFRICUNIA Television. Do follow all our social media platforms on Jointon, Pangram.ct, Instagram, Facebook, and on Twitter in that respective order to stay connected and updated to our news and other programs. You can also link us up on www.africunia.tv and by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Once again, I am Deborah Ezeh. Many thanks for watching.